Welcome back to FPL Banter podcast. Myself, Mopey, got Woody.
Hello.
And Swabbis.
Hey, how's it going?
And we're back. We have had a pretty marginal game week with 44 points out of an average of 46.
Yeah.
So we're not going to spend much time.
No, and I mean, I tell you where our downfall was. It was at the point where someone said, "Kane, he's the obvious choice for a captain. Let's go with someone else." Like, there's a reason. There's a reason he's the obvious choice. It's because he gets the most points.
Yeah, you guys were like, "Ooh, I fancy a punt."
Yeah,
well, not on my watch.
Yeah, we're not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
But to be fair, 2-2 Newcastle Spurs. I don't think many people would have expected that, right? I mean, it was either going to be a Spurs rout or it could be like a crappy 0-0.
Well,
to be honest, I think
Kane.
I think millions of people expected it because everyone captained Kane. But we would have had an extra 11 points, right? So 55, which would have taken us well above the average.
Well
so
above.
Why don't we just assume that we were above the average? There you go.
Yeah.
And also
the Chelsea result as
I've got more blaming. Yeah. Alex, we can blame Woody for this as well. Always feels good blaming Woody. So as Piliqueta, 0 points. We told you, mate.
No, you didn't. You were like, "Oh, shall I get him in my draft? Oh, shall I get him in my?"
I remember this
my big
chat
team.
about club captain this, you know.
Hey, admit it. You were gonna buy him for your own team, and you just forgot at the last minute, Mr.
No.
But that was a surprising result, though, wasn't it? I mean, West Brom looked pretty on it. Would that mean would you consider them any players, or do you think it's just fluke?
I think it was just a one-off. I think it was a perfect storm of just Chelsea being rattled by the sending off, and then then West Brom capitalising, which then made them more rattled. I think it was just one of those things, and I don't think it'll happen again. I think we'll see Southampton put West Brom back in their place this weekend. It's my opinion.
Can you imagine the audacity of someone like Werner coming into the dressing room and like shouting at the defense for not doing their job?
yeah. Sitting in the irony corner.
Mason Mount's still getting in there though. That guy just seems to score.
Yeah, can't stop scoring or assisting. And did you see his goal in the midweek? Like, he just took it so well.
Yeah, no, he's a good player. I don't know why people are they avoid him as much as they can, but I'm a big fan of Mount.
I don't like him.
People are reluctant to get him in the team. Yeah, it's
the reason I don't like him is because of his public best friend situation with Declan Rice. The way they've got like little bracelets and stuff that they made when they were in high school. I'm not a fan of that. No, don't like it.
But but you think considering the form he's been on, and then granted people got rid of him, but he's only 7.1. He started the season at 7 mil, so it's a train that's yet to be jumped on.
Also, he doesn't seem to haul. It's just it's just kind of like consistent, but that tends to put people off.
Slow and steady, like your Ollie Watkins is.
Oh, a bit like Fernandez. He's kind of stopped hauling a bit lately, hasn't he?
Yeah, he just looks tired, man. Midweek, he looked really tired. And then he got a penalty, but I mean, other than that, didn't do anything.
Like, if you just took a snapshot of his past 5 weeks, so 3-3, 10, 3-5, it wouldn't be anything amazing.
No.
Anyway, we're not hating on Fernandez. That's not why we're here.
Of course, he's in our team.
And KDB, 3 points, right? So as a non-owner, I watched that game sort of praying. And it was painful. It was painful.
But I bet you were sweating, weren't you? Like when you're watching it. Because there's all this talk about, do I get him this week? And then, or do I keep Son? But then when Son started on the bench, we were like, I should have got KDB.
I mean, of course I thought that, but I would never say it. But anyway, he came in with a 3-pointer. So yeah.
Just a cheeky pointer, though, with regards to Dallas. I don't think it was that bad a shout because I think he did hit the post a couple of times or got very close to scoring.
He had so many shots on goal, or not on goal, at goal, near goal. Yeah, no, he could have had a couple, as could Alonso, for those of us that put him in the personal team, and he did get an assist. But honestly, he could have had even with conceding 5, he could have still got about 10 points. He had that many chances to do stuff.
Our boy J-Ling's dabbing his way to another brace. I mean, what Was that brace? No, it's a goal and an assist, but still.
Goal and
I
assist.
mean, he's all over it.
Yeah. But I don't know why we didn't put him in our team. I mean, we discussed it, but then we just overlooked it because we were like, oh no, Wolves don't concede many goals.
But they do, though. That's the
But they
thing.
did.
Lately, they have been. Weirdly, since Jimenez is gone, who's a striker, now they're like, right, we're going to concede loads of goals.
Yeah.
Weird. Don't get it.
Is. But it's funny how just losing a player at the front can just change the whole balance of the team. I forget who it was a couple of seasons ago, said the same thing, like a team lost their strikers and then they kept conceding goals.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Liverpool, wasn't it? So Liverpool lost all their defenders and they stopped scoring. And so I was like, but the front three hasn't changed. It's like, yeah, but the whole dynamic of the team has changed.
Well, to be fair, Van Dijk used to remember those long balls that would be that. They wouldn't necessarily be assists, but they would set off Salah, who might assist someone. You know what I mean? So they wouldn't get the glory.
Open.
Yeah.
And when Matip did it as well.
Yeah, Lindelof as well just did it during the game week for Rashford.
I thought that was Maguire. Was that Lindelof, was it?
No, apparently is. I thought it was Maguire as well, but I don't know. reading it back today.
Okay. I suppose it was weird. It was the right side of defense.
I thought it was a bit weird seeing Spurs go 2-0 up, controlling that game, and then sort of 2-2. What was that about?
What, the Newcastle game?
Yeah.
They went 1-0 down, so that's interesting that you say that they went 2-0 up.
Oh, no. I'm talking absolute crocker. See, Alex? I listened to you. He doesn't want us swearing on the podcast because he says he's got a lot to do this afternoon. But I mean, I
go
don't
to
know.
The beach.
I'm tempted.
Go to the beach, mate.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so as a disappointing result for all our the Dean owners out there, Everton conceding a crappy goal to Palace in the last 2 minutes.
What is going on with Everton? What is going on with Everton? Seriously,
just can't bank on them, can you?
Yeah,
that should have been 2-3-0. They had so many chances. Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin threw on goal. It's almost like they were trying not to score. It was God, it was hard to watch.
They were channeling their inner Werner.
Yeah. There's a strikers WhatsApp group going around. It's like sympathy for Werner. It's like, come on, guys, let's all just throw a couple of bung a couple of shots to make Timo feel a bit better.
Imagine if Werner was really down in the dumps and he listened to this podcast being like, oh, FPL Banter? Why not? And he listens to this, and this is like the nail in the coffin for his career.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is the nail in his coffin.
This
podcast.
Yeah.
How do we feel about Trent Alexander-Arnold?
I was literally just about to say, what do we think of the Liverpool Arsenal game? Was it just Arsenal being so very bad they made Liverpool look very good?
Actually, I thought Liverpool were good. In fairness, as an Arsenal supporter, I can say that Liverpool fully deserved that 3-0.
No, but you would say that because you're one of these you're one of these self-flagellating Arsenal supporters who celebrates every time you lose.
No, that's not true. That's Alex
from
Manchester United.
You're like told you.
No. Honestly, Liverpool played well, and I was like, oh, they're back. And then I watched them during the week, and they're not back.
Absolutely tragic, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, and that was the other thing is I was thinking Trent is back. Trent was average during the week, and he assisted one of the Real Madrid's goals. And then the most annoying thing, we've talked about this, is he just doesn't care. No remorse. He doesn't go I'd be on the ground hitting the grass or something. For appearances.
You'd be like, God, not again. Forgot. But he's just like, oh yeah, I've done it again.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's like, what are you worried about? Where are my AirPods? I need to walk off.
Exactly. Yeah. maybe he's off in the summer. Maybe he's already got a deal lined up and he's just stopped caring.
I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a really weird one. But then again, I don't know what we're expecting because it is Real Madrid at the end of the day.
I know, but performance is performance, right? I mean, it was energy, it was tempo, the amount of missed passes by everyone, particularly Trent again. I know Eric was saying I was kind of annoyed because I stuck with Trent all season. And I finally get rid of him after everyone's telling me to. He gets a 9 and a 12, and now everyone's like, "Oh, buy Trent," and I'm like, "Don't you?"
Woody always gives me a hard time about how I curse players. Well, finally, we found out that he's cursed Trent. He was the Trent.
Cursed Trent all year. Yeah, I've suppressed his ability all season by sticking with him. Sorry, Liverpool supporters.
So also, Woody's decided on an unconventional week where we change the format a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to move straight on to the team of the week. and afterwards, and this is the key
Gonna
difference.
discuss the pros and cons.
Yeah. So it's gonna be all right. So strap in. Anyway, so team of the week.
I'm happy to do the D.
Okay, all right. Well, 100 mil budget. Go for it. Take us away.
Did we have any change? Did we have any change this week? I think we've nailed it bang on 100 again this week, haven't we? I know 0.3 in the bank, so you've got a bit of room if you fancy someone else. All right, so we're doing a 3-5-2 this week, and Eric's a little bit hesitant this week. So he doesn't think this is going to be a particularly good game week because there's no sort of standout easy fixtures. So we'll see what happens in hindsight when we hold him to this, when we haul with 100 points. But we are disregarding the West Brom anomaly and looking at their performance against Porto and the performance before that, and we're sort of backing the Chelsea defence. So they're playing away to Crystal Palace, who got they're just so jamming against Everton, it's unbelievable. So we've got Mendy in goal.
You know, Zaha's back though. I mean, I think my worry is that you guys are relying too much on Crystal Palace recent form where they didn't have their star player. Clearly it's Zaha.
I did see your point. I do see your point, and you could be right. Time will once again.
I mean, you just said it yourself. You just said it yourself a minute ago, where you, having like your talisman or even a star player come back makes the whole team play better, right? Yeah,
but he hasn't yet. Like they've still been pretty poor, even with Zaha being back. They've just been sort of jammy.
Yeah.
But they haven't been playing particularly well. They're getting good results, but haven't been playing particularly well. Anyway, so Mendy in goal, and then the backup goalkeeper is Forster, who seems to be Southampton's number one. I don't know what happened with McCarthy.
That's an interesting one. So why has he become Southampton Forster? Because Southampton number one? Is it because of McCarthy conceding 9 goals? You can't really blame that on McCarthy.
Yeah, and McCarthy played after that. I think maybe it's just a bit of a change, in direction. I know. Like with Burnley, when Popey got injured, and then they brought in Joe Hart, who is in himself a good goalkeeper, but they just weren't the same at the back. And then they brought Pope back in, even though Hart was playing well individually, and the whole team changed, and it just changes the whole dynamic. So I guess it's not the first time Hasenhüttl's done it. McCarthy wasn't their now goalkeeper last season. It was Gunn. Gunn was the starting man for a while.
Can I just say, McCarthy has gone full silver fox. I mean, have you noticed? He's great now. Shout out to Wits, by the way.
So it's a good point. He went great pretty quick. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the stress of being the number one. Maybe he couldn't take it.
I mean, conceding 9 goals twice in the season would make you great, wouldn't it?
Well, it's 2 seasons. 2 separate seasons.
2 separate seasons.
Why are you like that? Why you go really like that?
As in factually correct again. Yeah. Why have you got to not be wrong all the time?
Oh my god.
Right, so that's our goalkeepers. So Southampton away to West Brom. Again, we're taking the West Brom thrashing of Chelsea as a one-off event. We may regret that. 3 at the back. So we're going Saiss, which I think is a great call, not just for this game week. Obviously, if you're buying a team to play for a few game weeks, Wolves have got some great fixtures coming up against sort of non-attacking teams, so good chance of some cleanies. And Saiss does get forward the most. He's definitely the biggest threat of the back when they get
the
corners and stuff. Loves the header, and some cracking finishes as well. Remember the goal was disallowed offside because the person was in the way. And there's a left foot drive
where if the goal's nice enough, they just allow it anyway.
Yeah,
because I feel like even the opposite team would be like, fair enough.
Or maybe like a half goal. So you're like 2.5 nil. So if the other team gets a goal, they still win. It's like, well, you get half credit.
This is actually genius. We need to discuss this later.
They won 1.51. I mean, it could. You never. Yeah, maybe. It goes to a voting panel of like ex-strikers.
Okay.
So cracking on. Alonso rested midweek again, Palace, and also he's just such a threat going forward. So I think that's a pretty safe bet. And then we've gone for Mendy with a Zinchenko chaser. So we're backing up on the left backs because Walker and Cancelo both played in the midweek. Cancelo at left back, so the chance of him playing left back again is pretty slim. But who knows what's going to happen between Mendy and Zinchenko? And we're just banking City keeping a clean sheet and also going forward against Leeds. So yeah, well, it comes down the left at City. And then just to fill out the bench, seeing as he's fit again and he's 3.9 million, old Tariq Mitchell from Crystal Palace, just as a bench warmer. And that's the defense.
Even though it's my team, I kind of want Pep to massively mug you off and put a different left back in there.
You say me. It's not me.
Okay.
It's us. We picked the team.
Yeah, but you did.
I
the
just,
defense, so
I just
speech was
named
just
it.
like he would end your career. Okay, yeah, no, but
It's not my fault. It would be our fault.
It'll be your fault, but yeah.
I voted for not having any City defenders.
Yeah, me too.
Here we go. Here we go.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't, Eric.
But then we would have no City in the entire team. Like, what's
realistically, you guys should give me free reign of this team after that Dallas captain. God,
you kind of have in the midfield. I mean, that midfield's got you written all over it, except for you go through it, Eric. Actually,
all right. I'll take the mids. All right. So, firstly, we got 5 in midfield. So our first pick is Jota, who's been in great form. And yes, that was my pick. I like him. He plays well, you know. He's scory and he's actually genuinely good, right? Do we agree on that? Like, he is deserving those goals.
Yeah. No, he is good. He's no longer a differential because everybody's getting on that train. But he used to be a differential. And you've got to think there's going to be. I don't know. You never know which Liverpool's going to turn up and what kind of attitude they're going to have. But after losing like they did to Real, you think they're going to be livid. And then the fact that they're playing Villa, who they lost 7-2 against, they're going to be more livid. So you think they're going to come out all guns blazing.
Yeah. And Woody, I think you mentioned that he's basically almost taken Bobby's place in the team, right? Like, he seems to start over Firmino sometimes, which is surprising. But anyway.
That was Alex. I think was saying that. I mean, I definitely think he's still more of a rotation player, or they all are. It basically gives an element of rotation to the Liverpool, the front three.
But he started Jota, right? He started Jota during the week
against Real. He did. Yeah. He did.
So you think that Klopp would choose his first team, as in his top players, against Real Madrid, but then again he changed Keita pretty quickly to Thiago.
One thing that a lot of people are overlooking, and myself included, is we all assume that the team that started against the Champions League, and this goes for City and Chelsea and everything, so that team will be the same team that will play the next Champions League fixture, and as a result, at the weekend, everyone that didn't play Champions League will play. But in fact, maybe the manager will go, oh, the team I picked against the Champions League side actually didn't work. So, like, let's say, hypothetically, I'll play KDB again at the weekend and then rest him in the second match because I don't want to play him again against Dortmund. That's just an example. That's not going to happen. But you know what I mean? So we'll see a player play again at the weekend, but not play the second Champions League game. I mean, are we overlooking that a bit?
I mean, it's difficult because you're trying to second guess because it also depends on the player, like, and the team that they're playing and the position in the league. Like, someone like United will have to play Fernandes and Rashford if they're fit, even though they played 90 in the league. Someone like City, with their squad and their league position against Leeds, they could literally swap 8 or 9 players. You could see Nathan Ake at left back, mug us all off. Yeah. So you got to take it case by case basis. Like someone like Mount,
mainly it's City that's basically giving us a bit of a headache, and maybe
which is why our team reflects not much City. Like, you know, why don't we have Sterling? Because I don't think Sterling played.
Mate, you're ruining the surprise of my midfield. Come on.
Sorry.
All right.
Get the team out, then we can have this discussion. Yeah.
So Jota is number 1. Number 2, we have Maddison, who is back, baby. I'm happy to say he's on literally every set piece. He even takes goal kicks now. Okay, so he's that good, and he's assisting, and he's on penalties. He's everywhere. So he's not on penalties, but you know. I like him. He is literally, like, when he's in form, he can score goals from outside the box. He can assist. He can do everything. So, matters. He's back. And then next one is Fernandes. Not going to waste time on talking about that. It's Fernandes. Scored a penalty last night. So another one. And then our next one is Lingard. Finally, we got him in the team. So he's just been in such form that it's just you can't not have him. Yeah, you can't not have him. It's Leicester at home, but you know what? West Ham have been really doing well against the big teams. So, you know, or at least scoring. Maybe not winning, but scoring. So that's what we want from the midfielder, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I mean, it'd be interesting to see if now because Antonio's injured. But then when J-Lings first came in, Antonio was injured as well. So I think
and he took penalties and he played forward. I think it can only be better for him if anything.
Yeah.
And so our last midfielder is and regrettably I've been coaxed into this. I didn't really have much choice, but anyway, that's how it works. Mason Mount, who's average at best, and probably going to get rested.
What are you
but
talking
anyway.
about? You're an idiot.
What are you on about?
He literally is an idiot.
Okay, all right. I'm hating on Mason Mount, but okay, he's not a bad shout. But I think he's had a lot of football lately, and I think there's a chance he gets rested. But to be fair, he's been playing quite consistently. So
That's the thing. So in the
that's-
league game before the Champions League against West Brom, he only played a half, and then he came off after 75 minutes or something in the midweek game. So he is being managed.
Yeah,
He's not playing. It's not like Fernandez who just plays 90 every week
Yeah.
and looks like toast.
yeah. So no, it's not a bad shot. So that's our midfield anyway, and on to the forwards.
All right, so we kick it all off with Kane against United. Again, I think you'd be stupid not to have Kane in your team. I think that goes without saying. Then we have Ings against West Brom. He was back. I think he scored a nice goal, didn't he, last game week, didn't he?
I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, and then we have on the bench, because it's just we're playing two, as we have 3-5-2 formation. We have on the bench, we have Lacazette against Sheffield United. So the debate that we've been having is whether to start Lacazette for Mount or any other ones of our midfields, and I guess that's what we can discuss after we've selected the captain.
Okay.
Who do we think is the captain?
I mean,
okay, so you want to go captain first?
I
think do captain.
Obviously, last week was too punty. We just went way off on that one. However, this week I think, this week I feel like maybe maybe a mild punt, like
which
just
is,
a bit differential, a bit differentially.
Which is,
what do you think?
Ings? I think we've already. I think it's presumably Ings.
I mean,
no?
to be honest, I think Ings could be a good shout. I think Lingard could be a good shout. I think he's differentially. But then Kane, I think Kane's a safe bet. He's always a safe bet.
He'll score one, maybe two.
Give you my 2 cents. For me, it's Kane and Fernandez. I know it's boring and safe, but honestly, for obvious reasons, both of those have a high chance of scoring.
See, I want to go even more differential, and we're probably never going to end this conversation, but I'm looking at Jota.
I thought you were going to say Mount. I was about to lose my... Yeah, I'm not going to say the word. There you go. See? I'm learning.
Yeah.
Okay. I think
but
Jota,
I'm happy with Ings. I'm happy with Ings, to be fair.
only thing with Jota,
Ings is a nice compromise. I do like it.
Yeah. Because I think
it makes sense. It's against West Brom, man.
Villa are obviously a good team. They won't give too much away, and Jota might not start. Now, that's not to say he's not going to come on and bang a couple in, but Ings, if he's fit, will play most of the game. He's on Penos.
But do you think this is a question that I have? Because Ings played... did he play a full 90 last game week? He did, right?
I don't think he came off, so I think he played the full 90, yeah.
So
he got 5 minutes.
85,
yeah, because Che Adams came on and missed a sitter, which really annoyed you.
Oh, he missed two. He missed two sitters. I was like, God.
It's unbelievable.
So,
I felt so sorry for
my
you.
question is, because we've had this discussion towards the beginning of the season, I think, that Ings and Adams don't usually play together, or do they? Or is it just depending? Obviously, it depends on. But it's
imagine the fire growing inside of Wits right now. Remember?
Yeah.
Well, the Ings Adams discussion. Minutes on the pitch. MOTP. Woodard copyright trademark.
So my only aversion to captaining Ings is if Che Adams starts instead of Ings because it's West Brom.
I mean, I know what you're saying, and I hear you, and evidence would back you up, but I think that was more like when they were still playing in the cups, and so Ings would play midweek as well.
Okay, all right.
You know what I mean? But he's had a week off. That's a lot of recovery, even for Danny Ings.
So do you think it will be Che? Do you think it will be Adams and Ings up front?
Don't know. It could be Ings and Redmond, and then another Adams cameo. I know he seems to like playing Redmond at the moment. So this is obviously presenting too much of a risk. So why don't we just go with Kane? Safe bet.
Well, we got Kane as vicey, so I don't have to worry too much.
But then if Ings comes on for 5 minutes, you'll be livid.
I think we keep Ingsy. It's a bit interesting. We keep Ingsy, vice captain Kane. Done.
All right. So now we can enter the discussion. So basically, it's Lacazette or anyone of our
Why don't we bring on
midfielders.
Lacazette for Ings? I like that.
Stop it.
So you want to captain him, but also bench him.
I don't know why I'm like that sometimes. I really don't know why I'm like that. But anyway,
But
okay. How about Lacazette in for Mounts?
Well, I mean, time will tell, but I like the idea of Lacazette against Sheffield United. I do.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
But for Mount or for Jota, which is actually Jota because he's Portuguese.
What if
I don't know.
Jota, if he doesn't play, he doesn't start, he'll definitely come on because that's what he did against Arsenal. Fernandes will start, Maddison will start, Lingard will start, Mount we're not sure of.
Maybe
Lacazette
not.
will definitely start.
I think so. I mean, Oba was rested, but he just doesn't like to play Oba through the middle. So I think Lacazette's going to play.
With Oba's new lid, we're not getting him. There's just no way. That was. I don't care what that was. I heard something that it was for someone else. He did it, right?
Yeah.
It was for I've forgotten the name.
I think it was Gervinho.
Oh God.
But just looking at form, right? So you got Jota. Obviously, in the last couple of games, he's got a 12 and an 8. Mount. I mean, he's like I say, he's not too hoary, but he's consistent. 11, 1, 3, 6. So he registers. I mean, Lacazette just hasn't been blowing my skirt up that much lately. I mean, 8, 1, 8, 11, 2. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a tough call.
How much do you need to get that skirt blown up? I mean, 8, 1, 8, 11. It's not bad.
It's lead lined. It's a lead lined skirt.
Get him in there. Come on. I want to see my boy Laka in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
And we need to talk about the elephant in the room, which is that what about KDB? People might be considering or wondering why we don't have a KDB.
Yes. Yeah. So Eric, well, no, because that's why we're going to do the team and then discuss it. So there are obviously some big names that we haven't.
Oh, it's not complicated. The KDB thing is pretty obvious. I think he'll get managed his minutes. That's what I think. I mean, okay. The question is simple. Do you think he'll play against Dortmund?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And I do too, which means that I think playing him 90 this weekend and 90 again at the week, having just played 90, I think that's risky, personally. That'll be 4 games in a row. That'll be 4 in a row if he does that. I mean, but then granted, they then have... And then at the weekend, they have the FA Cup semi-final, which he'll want to win as well, right?
Yeah.
Not true, yeah, true.
So there's a lot of games. It's a lot of games, a lot of minutes, a lot of MOTP.
I don't know what Pep's going to do, but I don't know. For me anyway, he doesn't, because it's a big investment as well. It's 11.9, right? And remember, we're not just throwing him in the bin for nothing. We're getting in other players for it. So
we've got Mount.
Exactly. I mean, so that's my reason. Yeah. But if you guys want to overrule it, then you have that right. There's 2 of you.
No, I mean, it's just that we have. I mean, I know it is rotating, and you might end up spending all that money, and no one's on the pitch. But we've got no Mahrez, no Sterling, no KDB. Are we being silly?
Also think about this, right? Like for people in their regular team who don't have KDB, like me, for example, thinking of bringing him in now is risky because he might not play this weekend. Then he's got 1 more week where he might or might not play, and then he's got a blank.
Yeah.
So potentially he could have 2 blanks in the next 3 game weeks, which don't want. So I don't know. It's a risky one. Like I said, you guys can if you want to overrule that, go ahead. But that's just my theory.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because it's City and Spurs, right, that have the blank.
Yeah.
So that's a
consideration.
Something to keep on the horizon.
Because we just change our team every week, but remember, most people can't do that. So
yeah, it's very true. I'm absolutely livid now that after this whole season, Trent Alexander is 2nd in the form tables.
But that's ridiculous. But I think that's just FPL just loving that guy.
Yeah.
Because I think that's just
Because he's
that's
been
not
like the
reasonable.
worst right back in the league. But yeah, second in the form tables. Disgusting.
But I mean, he's been playing quite well in the Premier League. Given that. Also,
Yeah.
Pereira
Are
shows
we-
up once, and now he's like top of the league. I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
it is weird, isn't it? You can't.
But I
you
mean,
can't
yeah, but
read too much
Pereira, I
into
mean, he
it.
scored. Yeah. Are we overlooking any Leeds? But I mean, I know they're playing City, but do we feel that Leeds definitely won't score, won't put one away?
They could, but I just, you know, at the end of the day, I think statistically speaking, it's probably not the week to buy Leeds. But like you said, anything can happen. But
And apparently,
Yeah.
I was the only mug. I was the only mug that didn't know that Harrison was alone from City.
That was alone from
I mean,
City.
I can't
yeah.
believe you didn't know that. This is
I mean, who doesn't know that?
shocking.
Who doesn't know
Shocking.
that?
Shocking.
But yeah, no.
Another one to consider going forward could be Vardy. Maybe not this week, but the next week and moving forward. I mean,
Well,
Leicester
keeping with
need,
Leicester.
yeah, they
keeping
want
with
their
Leicester.
top four, and Vardy might be the man provided he stays fit. So I think a lot of people are talking about Iniacho this week, and the reason we didn't
Yeah.
go for Iniacho was because now that Madison's back, we might find that he's rotated or doesn't start or whatever, and so that, you know, the team has now changed with Madison coming back, and no one knows how that's going to affect it. Brendan Rodgers seems like the type of guy who would recognize form and keep him in there, but I just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just quickly touch back as well. I know something that's very close to Alex's heart. If you've got Fulham players, you know, you got to start getting rid. But just do keep an eye. I know what we talk about, as Eric said, is just a team each week for the week. But do keep an eye on the blanks coming up, the Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
and Fulham and
Southampton have a blank as well.
Yeah, so just bear that in mind through game week 32 and 33. If you're getting players in now, just keep an eye on their fixtures down the line.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, look, that wraps it up for us. We'll be back next week after the Champions League, and hopefully KDB doesn't play this weekend, and we'll all be happy. So thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week.
All
All right.
ciao.
Ciao. Ciao.